Hi there, this is Pete Howard, Director of Concert Posters for Heritage Auctions. And what can you say except wow, right? I mean, my goodness, the world's first Elvis Presley concert poster after he signed to RCA Records and changed the world forever and pop culture. Now, of course, I say the world's first, just for emphasis, because Elvis never played outside of America, not one single concert, but still, it's the world, in fact, it's the universe's first Elvis Presley concert poster after signing with Nipper. And boy, I'll tell you, this is one of those few posters that really gets me right here. It gets my heart beating fast and everything. And that's why I used to have it proudly in my collection. This very poster, I used to own it, and I just remember so well when I just melted all over this poster when I saw it, and I told the friend who had it, I said, I have to have this, almost saying like, here's my wallet, whatever you have to charge me. I mean, are you kidding? Look at that, fifth bill. I mean, I just adore, before they were famous stuff anyway, on concert posters, underbilled people who later got famous or ruled the world. And fifth billed down there with that wording, oh my gosh. It might have well have said, new king of rock and roll instead of new RCA Victor Recording Artist, because that's where he was headed. And I just, I threw down 5 figures for this poster. I loved it for years and everything, and eventually it had to hit the highway, as they say, as us collectors subsidize when the new biggest, brightest, shiny object comes along. So, I just, I still love this. It's very close to my heart. And again, it's the only one there is. So that's a special cachet to it for sure. It's just fun to have it come full circle like this. My collection to somebody else and come around to Heritage when I'm Director of Concert Posters at Heritage. I mean, how fun is that magic circle? I just love this. I guess out of respect, do I dare even mention that, the headliner was Hank Snow, and you've got the wonderful Carter family on there. I mean, let's face it, both of those folks were so important to the history of country music. Hey, come on, this is Elvis. We got to talk about the king, right? I mean, this is an Elvis poster. It's just staggering. That's a word I would use for it. I so love having this for years. So Elvis and his musicians were paid all of $250 a night for this engagement, and that was Scotty, Bill, and DJ Fontana, I assume, and Bob Neal was still his manager. I mean, sure, Colonel Tom was involved because Colonel Tom orchestrated the signing with RCA Records, but Bob Neal was under contract as manager. So can you imagine that? An Elvis concert poster where he's fifth billed, he's getting paid $250 a night, but after paying his musicians and Bob Neal's cut and everything, who knows if he's taken home, $80 or something. To have him called and labeled and explained as a new RCA Victor Recording Artist, whereas Hank Snow on top was obviously an RCA Victor Recording Artist. And we know from the Elvis movie a couple of years ago, the whole Hank Snow dynamic and how as soon as Elvis stepped on stage, he was upstaging Hank Snow. But the shows and the tours had to go on as booked. As far as the order they came on stage, remember artists number 2 and 3 were comedians. I don't know if Elvis, opened all these shows. Who would want to follow him? He might have ended up closing some of these, I'm just not sure. But once again, part of the famous, legendary Hatch showprint stash, once found in Alaska, of all places a long time ago, where there was exactly one of every poster. And so we know this, unless Rod Brasfield's great-great-grandkids have one or something, incredibly unlikely. So, this is it, and I loved it for years, and some new lucky Elvis collector is going to hopefully love it just as much. So, to find out more about it, read the description and everything, and by the way, the day it goes off the podium is Saturday, April 13th, as part of our 3-day music auction. All you have to do is go by, as usual, to ha.com/7363.